So it is springtime and rosemary has finished blooming. This is a big rosemary bush, and now you can see that there is fresh growth coming out of all these branches. So this is a perfect time to take this fresh growth and if you want to propagate it, here you can see better that all these small branches, these are fresh growths. So I have prepared a video before for propagating rosemary from kind of semi woody branches, but today we'll do it using these fresh growth. So we'll take these cuttings, maybe 4 inches each, and then plant them. So I took some of those cuttings from that bush. I'm going to remove the leaves from the bottom nodes. So nodes are the places from where the leaves grow. So like 1, 2, 3 nodes are now bare. So same thing here. So what happens is that these are the places from where potentially the roots will grow. And so we'll bury these nodes in the soil, and roots will grow from there. And it's so fragrant to work with rosemary, removing all these leaves. So fragrant. And in this planter, what I have done is that I have added 2 parts coco peat and 1 part perlite. So coco peat keeps this medium moist, and perlite kind of allows drainage. It gives space in between the coco peat fibers, because otherwise if it dries up, then the coco peat becomes really hard. So if there is perlite in between, there are air pockets, and the cuttings will grow easily. So now what you want to do is just take each cutting and just bury it, whatever portion that we remove the leaves from, just bury it. So you take each cutting and just make a hole and put it inside and just bury it. So I'm putting a lot of cuttings here because first of all, not every cutting will grow. So you want to put more cuttings than you really need. So in home gardening, if you can get 50% success rate, that's pretty good. So don't think that you'll put 2 cuttings in and they'll both grow. Maybe 1 will grow. So you want to put more cuttings than you need. And because they don't have any roots right now, they don't need any nutrition, because there's nothing in these cuttings to absorb that nutrition. So that's why this medium doesn't have any compost or any fertilizer or anything. So we'll wait and for a few weeks, and when we feel that now these cuttings have started to grow roots, then we can add some liquid fertilizer from the top, or we can transplant them quickly to a proper medium with compost and fertilizer and soil. So right now it is just coco peat and perlite. So I'm going to water it thoroughly, and then I'm going to cover it with a clear plastic bag. So what happens is that these cuttings, they require warmth and moisture. So because I'm going to water it, so it gets a lot of moisture. But then if you cover it with the plastic bag, then whatever water evaporate, it just stays within that plastic bag. So then the atmosphere around these cuttings is humid, and the cuttings like that. So the chances of survival increase. So, and then I'm going to leave it outside. So these days the temperature outside are around, in the daytime they are around 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and at night time they are around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to um, leave this planter under a shed which is open from all sides, so a lot of air circulation, a lot of shade, but and there's no direct sunlight, only indirect sunlight, and we'll see how they grow. So it's been about 6 weeks that we planted these cuttings. So I see that they are still standing tall. I don't see any new growth, but I'm curious because they are standing tall. So I'm going to just dig one of these up and see. Actually, let's do the pull test first. So, you want to pull them and see if they're coming out. Because if they are just plain stem with no root, there's nothing to hold them in the soil, and when you pull them, it just comes out easily. So you want to do a pull test. So I'm pulling them, of course not too hard, because I don't want to just pull out the roots if there were any, but they're not coming out that easily. I mean, they're not coming out at all. So I have a feeling that they must have grown roots. So let me just try to dig up one. Although I don't see any new growth, but still. Oh, I do have one small root here. Now you see it, right? So there are small roots developing. So it is working. So we still have to wait. And that's why, there is no growth on the top. But that's good sign. So we'll just wait for these to develop more roots. And I'll keep you posted. So it's been 8 weeks that I planted these rosemary cuttings, and 2 weeks ago I showed you I dug up one and it had a tiny root. So that means the roots developed at that time. So I put some manure on top, and also I moved it to a sunny area because rosemary likes sun, and I added manure so that they get more nutrition. But then, a couple of cuttings, they dried up. Probably they didn't have roots, but that's fine. So rest of the cuttings, it seems like there is some growth. They are becoming bushier. So earlier they were just, one small cutting. It had no branches, but now I see, more branches coming out. But let's dig up a few of these and then see. Yeah. So you can see that this has plenty of roots. Let's dig up another one. Yeah, even this one has plenty of roots. Most of them seem to have roots. Let's try another one, just to be sure. Oh, this one has big root. So the left one is bushier than the right one, and it makes sense because the left one has big roots. So, it is growing better than the right one. And I'm pretty sure that even this one has big roots. Yes, this one has big roots too. So it was pretty straightforward. We took the cuttings, we put them in coco peat and perlite mixture, watered it, covered it with a plastic bag, left it in a shaded area for a few weeks. I kept on misting it once in a while so that the environment around it is humid. And in 4 weeks, I think 4 or 5 weeks, we saw some roots developing. And now 8 weeks later, huge roots have developed. So, now we have made so many new plants. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.